So according to the timetable, today's class at 9:30 is for English subject. If you want to attend that class, you can attend that regular class according to your timetable. So okay, लेकिन 9:30 पर है ना क्लास. ठीक है, जब तक सर आते हैं तब तक हम लोग पढ़ते हैं. यहाँ पर बेसिक का मैं रिवीजन करवा रहा हूँ. So I am sharing my entire screen so that you can see what is going on my desktop. Here I am opening the Python standard editor. You can see this is the latest version of Python 3.8.0. So you can download this latest version from this Python website. And here I am opening one file and I am deleting the contents. Today I will discuss some basic concepts of list and the list methods. So write down the heading list basic concepts, methods which you can apply on the list. So you know that how to create an empty list. Just you write a name of the variable. For example, name list is equal to this. So with the help of this square bracket, empty square bracket, you can create an empty list. So this name list variable represents an empty list. Later on you can add contents in this list. So one by one I will explain about the methods which you can apply on the list. You know that how to call a method. You call a method with the help of the object with dot operator and the name of the method. That is the way you can call a method. Method is also like a function. Method also carries out some operations. It also carries out some instructions. So first method is index. So you should write down index. This is a method you can apply on the list. And what is the purpose of this method? Write down. For example, sometimes you want to know the location of an item in the list. Location means the index of the item in the list. You know that each and every element has a particular index in the list. For example, the first element's index is 0. So this index method returns the index of the first element in the list which you want to find. Write down index method returns the index of the first element in the list containing that item. For example, suppose there is a list Vishal, Mohan, Prince, Mehul. Again, if I am writing Vishal. So if you want to know the index of Vishal, now Vishal appears twice in the list. You can see Vishal is written here, Vishal is written here. The index of this Vishal is 0 and the index of this Vishal is 4. So if you want to know the index of Vishal, it will return 0 because the first Vishal appear in the list is at the index 0. So if you write print index, list 1 index, and if you pass a value Vishal, so this method will return the index of Vishal. Can you guess what is the value returned by this method? Yes, 0 because the first element Vishal appearing at the index 0. So it returns the index of first element in the list containing that item. So Vishal appears twice, two times Vishal is appearing, but it will search the first occurrence of Vishal. So first occurrence of Vishal as index 0. So this statement will return, this statement will print 0 on the screen. Let's see the output. It is 0. So write down the output of this statement, output 0. So I hope you have written this. Uh, and you know that we can modify the list contents, and you can modify the list content with the help of index also. So list is a mutable data object. We can change the contents of the list once it is created. Changing means we can edit, delete, and add new contents to the list. For example, suppose there is a list of names is equal to Vishal, Prince, Mehul. Now if I want to change this name Prince, in place of Prince I want to write Suryam, then I can access the item with the help of index. You know that index of this element is 1, so you can write 1 is equal to Suryam. So the value which is already present at index 1 will be replaced by this value Suryam, because you are writing 1 means second element in the list is Prince, so you can replace Prince by Suryam with the help of this statement. When you print the list, first you print the list, original list, names, then you can print modified list, names. So you can see the difference. Since list is a mutable data object, it means you can change the contents of the list. So here in this statement you are changing the contents, means at index 1 means second element you are replacing with the new string, new data element, new item. So this Prince will be replaced by Surya. Let's see the output. So you can see original list is Vishal, Prince, Mehul. And the modified list is Vishal, Surya, Mehul. So in place of Prince, I replace the item with Surya, the new data. So you can change the contents of the list with the help of index. So index 1 means the second element, so you are changing the second element in the list. So in place of Prince, you are writing Surya. Let's write a complete program, an interactive program in which user will enter the previous value, the original value, and the replacing value, the new value, so that you can modify a list. Let's write an interactive program. So write down in your notebook. program to get index of an item, then replace that item with a new item. So here I am going to write a interactive program. I am creating a list here, food item or food list equal to, I am writing samosa, suppose samosa, and then idli, and then dosa, and then poha. And you can print that food list on the screen, print food list. So when you type the name of the list, it will display the whole list on the screen. You can see the output. The list is displayed on the screen: samosa, idli, dosa, poha. Now I can ask the user which item should be changed. So you know about this input function. It will prompt the user which item should be changed and wait for the user's input. And when the user input any data value, that value is stored in this item. Now here I am using exception handling, try. You know that try and accept are used in exception handling. Whether any error will occur, it will accept that error. So item index, one more variable I declared here, is equal to. Now I can get the index of that item. So you know how to get the index with the help of index method, and inside the index method you pass the value. So it will search this value in the list. If it finds the value in the list, this index method will return the index, and that index will be stored in this index item index variable. Then you can ask about new item, input new item. You can ask what will be the new item. Then you can write food list, and then in the items index because you get the index of that item with the help of this index method. And when you get the index method, to add that particular index you want to replace with a new value. So new item, new value is stored in this new item. Then you can print revised list, and then you can print again the food list. And if any error occurs, that you can accept. This is called exception handling. Any value error occurs, suppose print data not found. So this is the complete program. This program will ask the user whether he or she want to replace any item, wants to change any item in the list. Hello, good morning, Suryam. Yes, you can attend that class, no problem. Okay, you should attend the class according to the timetable. Okay, so you have 15 minutes. You can attend this class. What is going on in Python? Okay, so in this program I am replacing the data elements from a list. So it gets the index with the help of this index method. The item, if you type samosa, then this index will return that samosa's index, means the index of that element in the list. So let's run this program. Let's see how it works. So which item should be changed? If I write idli, so it is asking new item. So what will be the new item you want to change in place of idli? So I can write here bhujia. Okay, samosa is already there, so I want to replace this idli with bhujia. So you can see revised list is samosa, bhujia, dosa and poha. So it replaces idli with bhujia. So in this way, if you want to replace any contents of the list, you can change the contents of the list, and you can access the contents of the list with the help of index operator. But with the help of index method also, you can know what is the index of a particular item in the list. Suppose you want to know the index of dosa, you can write like this: food list dot index dosa, as I have told you in the previous example. So this is an interactive program in which you can change the items in the list with the help of index. So index plays an important role in the list, and you must keep in mind that the index begins from 0 always. So samosa has 0 index, idli has 1 index, dosa has 2 index, poha has 3 index. So with the help of this index method, this index is a method which returns the index of a particular item in the list. I hope you have noted down this program in your notebook. So all of you have 15 minutes to attend this class. After 15 minutes at 9:30, you have to attend the English class. So you have 15 minutes. Within 15 minutes, I want to tell you some methods which you can operate on the list. So let's discuss another method, insert method. Sometimes you want to insert a new value in the list. So you don't want to change the list, but you want to insert a new value. So you can use this insert method in the list. So write down this method. Allows you to insert an item into a list at a specific position, actually at a specific position. So you have to pass 2 arguments in the insert method, right? And you have to pass 2 arguments in the insert method. Number 1 is index. Index means the position where you want to insert a new value, and another is the item you want to insert. So when an item is inserted to a list, the list is expanded in size. Write down. When an item is inserted to a list, the list is expanded in size to accommodate the new item. So the new item that was previously at the specified index, and all the items after it are shifted by 1 position. Toward the end of the list. For example, suppose there is a list. Pankaj, and then Prince, and then Mehul, then Surya. Now I want to insert one value at the index 1. So this should be shifted. Let's see what happens. Suppose list 1 dot insert, and at index 1 I want to insert Vishal. So what will happen at index 1 Vishal? This new value will be inserted here, and all those values will be shifted towards the end of the list. So if I print the list 1, and again if I print the value on the screen, print inserted list after insertion, then again I am printing the value of the list on the screen. So you can notice the change in the list. So let's run this program. So what happens in this program, that you create a list and then you print the list on the screen, then you call the insert method, and you must keep in mind that this insert method takes two arguments. One is the index and another is the value which you want to insert. So you want to insert this value at index 1. So there is already a value at index 1. So all these value will be shifted towards the end. So let's see the output. This I should convert into the comment. So you can see. So previously the list contains 4 items, 1, 2, 3, 4, Pankaj, Prince, Mehul, Suryam, and list after insertion. So you inserted a new value Vishal in this list. So Vishal inserted at index 1, and the previous values are shifted towards the end. This is how this insert function works. Hope you understand the concept of insert method in the list. So this insert method will insert a value at a particular index. So if you specify an index beyond the end of the list, the item will be added to the end of the list. If you use a negative index that specifies an invalid position, then item will be inserted at the beginning of the list. Suppose you write 1, 2, 3, 4, you write 5 here. So this Vishal will be inserted at index 5. But if you write 8 here, so only 4 items are there. You cannot insert this Vishal at index 8. So this Vishal will be inserted at the end of the list. So it will not give an error if you pass any invalid index in this insert method. So let's create an interactive program in which you can insert a new item in the list. Suppose I want to insert item at the beginning of the list. How to do it? Let's write an interactive program. Append always add a new element at the end of the list, and insert is used to insert a value at a particular index. You can insert at the beginning also, you can insert at the end also, you can insert in between the also. But append always insert the value at the end of the list. So let's write an interactive program that user will enter a new value and that value will be inserted in the list. So I hope you have written all these things. Now write down program to insert an item at the beginning of the list. Suppose there is a list names names is equal to Vishal, Prince, Mehul. You must separate all the list items by comma, Mehul, and then Pankaj. Now this list contains 4 items. I can print this list on the screen. List items. So in this way you can print the value on the, you can directly print the list, the whole list on the screen. So you know that this is a string, this is also printed on the screen. After comma you write the name of the object. So the value that is stored in that object will be displayed on the screen. Let's run this program. So you can see list items are Vishal, Prince, Mehul and Pankaj. Now new name. I am creating one new variable, new name. Any variable you can create. There is no restriction. So enter new name to be inserted at the beginning of the list. So enter new name to be inserted at the beginning of the list. So when the user enters a new name, that new name is stored in this variable. Now you want to insert this new name at the beginning. So you know that at the beginning the list index is 0. So you can call this insert function, and inside the insert function you can pass the index and the value. Value is stored in new name variable, so you can directly type the new name object here. So what happens, this insert method will insert this new value into the list. So only 4 minutes remaining. After that you can attend the English classes. Now the value is inserted into the list. Now if you want to see if the value is inserted in the list or not, you can write one statement, list after insertion, and you can print the list on the screen. Names. So this is an interactive program you have created in Python programming. So what happens in this program? You create a list, and if you want to insert a new item at the beginning of the list, so you can run this program, run. So list items are Vishal, Prince, Mehul and Pankaj. Now enter new name to be inserted at the beginning of the list. So I can write here Suryam. So this Suryam will be inserted at the beginning of the list. So you can see list after insertion Suryam. So in this way this insert method works in Python. So whenever you want to insert any value at a particular index, you can use this insert method. So this insert method you can apply on the list. Now only 3 minutes remaining. After that you can attend English class as per your regular timetable. There is one more method, sort method. You know sort means to arrange the items in a particular order. So there is a sort method you can directly apply on the list. So this sort method rearranges the elements of a list. For example, or you can write down, you can sort the list in ascending order. Ascending order, you know, in increasing order. So you can directly use this sort method. For example, suppose there is a list List contains items 101, comma 989, comma 204, comma 75, comma 10. Now the list items are not in sorted order, neither in ascending order nor in descending order. So if you print the list on the screen, you will get this list. Now if you call the method sort method, you call the method print list1 dot sort. So this sort method will return a list with items in sorting order. Let's see. You have to store it another list like this, list1 dot sort. Now you can print the list, print list2. Let's see. It is returning none. Oh, this is not the way of calling sort method. You have to pass, because this is a function sort list1 dot sort. Okay, so now print the value on the screen. So we can see now the list items are in sorted order. You must make a correction here, because you know that list is a mutable data object. So this method applies on the list and it changes the original list. So you can print the contents of the list, and then you can print the new contents of the list. Since list is a mutable, so this function will change the original list. That's why it is returning none. So you can see. So the previously the contents of the list are 100, 289, 204, 75, 10. When you apply sort method, so this sort method will change the contents of the original list. So it rearranges the elements of a list, means it converts the list items in sorted order. So you can see 10 appears first, then 75, 89, 102 and 204. You can also sort the list alphabetically with the help of this sort method. So the time is over. Now you can attend the English class as per our regular timetable. Now one more method is the remove method. So this method is used to remove an item from the list. Pass an item in this method as an argument, and the first element containing that item will be removed. Let's write a Python program to explain this concept. Suppose you create a list breakfast. Breakfast is equal to samosa, and then idli, and then dosa, and then poha, suppose poha. So this list contains 4 items. You can print the list on the screen. Print breakfast. So let's see the output. So you can see samosa, idli, dosa, poha. This list is displayed on the screen. Now I can ask the user which item should be removed. Which item should be removed? So this input function will display a prompt on the screen and the user enters any value. That value will be stored in this item object. Then you can write try breakfast dot remove and you pass that value. So what happens when you pass any value in this remove method? It checks whether this item is available in the list or not. If this item is available in the list, it will remove that item from the list. And you can print here is the modified list. Then you can print the list. The name of the list is breakfast. Now you can accept any value error occurring in the program. You know about the exception handling. Print the item was not found in the list. Now run this program. So it is displaying the original list, and this list contains samosa, idli, dosa and poha. Which item you want to remove? Suppose I want to remove idli. So you can see here is the modified list. Idli is removed. Let's run again. So which item you want to remove? Suppose I said dahi bada. So dahi bada is not in the list. So it will accept this error and print the item was not found in the list. So this is a very good program in which you can insert, in which you can actually delete an item from the list. You can remove an item from the list. So always keep in mind that a list is a mutable data object and any changes you made on the list will be permanent in the list. Because list is a mutable means you can change the contents of the list. So this is also a very useful method, remove method. If you want to remove any item from the list, you can remove with the help of remove method. So it is almost 9:35. You can attend English classes as per your regular timetable. Now one more method is there, reverse method. Reverse. Okay, no problem. You can attend English classes as per our regular timetable. So the reverse method. Yes, yes. हाँ, क्यों नहीं करते अटेंड? पूरा पूरी सभी पूरी क्लास नहीं? अच्छा, कौन से चैनल से? पेड चैनल था क्या? अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, ठीक है। तो पूरे सारे चैप्टर पूरा कोर्स कंप्लीट कर लिए? अच्छा, आप लोग आप 2-4 लोग। अच्छा, तो कितने चैप्टर कर लिए उसमें? कितने? 10 एक चैप्टर कि कंप्लीट पूरा ही, पूरा सिलेबस? अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, थोड़ा सिलेबस भी रिड्यूस किया है कल सीबीएसई ने, थोड़ा वेबसाइट पर देख लेना जाकर। अच्छा, बहुत ज़्यादा रिड्यूस किया है क्या? 1-2 चैप्टर किए होंगे। अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, लिंक भेज दिया क्या सरबंगा सर ने? अभी तो सरबंगा सर की क्लास है ना? अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, चलो ठीक है, उसको अटेंड करो। चलो ठीक है। So the reverse method simply reverses the order of the items in the list. For example, if list contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 90, 1, 2, 3, 45, 67 and 90. So it will reverse the order, means this list becomes like this: 97, then 67, then 45, then 3, then 2, 1, then means elements are in reverse order. Elements will become available in the list as in reverse order. So suppose you write list 1 dot reverse. So this method will reverse the original listings. You know that the original list actually. So you know that the list is a mutable data object and you can change the contents of the list. So this will change the contents of the original list. So you can print the list on the screen to see the effect of this reverse method. So this statement will display this list after you call the reverse method. So this the contents of the list will be changed and you can view the modified list on the screen. Let's run this program. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 45, 67, 90. Now the order of the elements has been reversed in the modified list. So 90 appears first, 67 appears second, like this. So if you want to change the order of the list, then you can use this reverse method. There is one statement that is called del statement. If you want to delete any item from the list, you can use this del statement also. So write down this statement is used to delete an element from a specific index. You know that each and every element is represented by an index. So the index of first element is 0, then the index of second element is 1. Suppose there is a list and it contains some items. Now you can delete. Suppose you want to delete this item. So you can use this statement like this: delete, and you write the name of the list, and then inside the square bracket you can write the index. Index of sodium is 1. So this statement will remove the item sodium from the list. So let's print this list on the screen, and then you can print again to see the effect of this delete statement. So this is not a method, it is a statement actually. So you can directly delete an item with the help of this del statement. Del stands for delete. So you pass an index. The item which you want to delete, you pass the index of that item. So you can see the index of this item is 1. So I am deleting this item. Now you can see the modified list on the screen. So previously the list contains 4 items: Vishal, Suryam, Pankaj and Prince. After deleting the second item, you can see the modified list: Vishal, Pankaj and Prince. I want to discuss 2 built-in functions you can apply on the list: min and max. So write down built-in functions. Built-in functions means the functions which are already available in Python. Built-in function min and max. So in this function you can pass list as an argument and it will return the minimum element and maximum element in the list. Let's see how it works. First you write down, you can pass list as an argument. In this function it returns the max, returns the min, returns the lowest value, means the smallest value, lowest value in the list. Let's see an example. For example, there is a list and inside the list you type some values. These are the values, and if you want to know the lowest value in the list, the smallest value in the list, you can use min function. Print minimum value and you can print and you can call min function list 1. So this min function will return the minimum value. Let's see the output. So the minimum value is 120. So to become more clear, you can print the original list on the screen, list 1, and then again run this program. You can see this is the list and minimum value is 120. Similarly, you can find the maximum value in the list with the help of max function. So write print maximum value, means the largest value. So you can call this function max and pass the list as an argument. So this function will return, it will not modify because it is returning a new value. So this function will return a new value, that is the maximum value in the list. So again run this program. So you can say minimum value 120 and maximum value 1123. So these functions are provided by Python to find the minimum and maximum value in the list. So this is all about some important methods which you can apply on the list. So I will explain some more concepts, some more basic concepts about Python in my next class. Goodbye.